Okay, transition. Woohoo. Hello everybody, welcome to, okay, so next Sunday is Dominica in Quadragesima, or the first Sunday in Lent. There you go. It's Tuesday morning here, so I think that's Pancake Tuesday, and, Shrove Tuesday, the day before Lent starts, so this is all getting very exciting because there's so much preparation for Lent, especially Old Mass sort of style, where we've got the Septuagesima, Quinquagesima. So let's see, we'll dive in. Today, as it says on the screen, we have not one, not two, but 3 images from the good old images of the Evangelical Gospels. There we go. And there's a link to where to get the images from the Internet Archive, and it's also available printed from Lulu. I've just been watching about product placement. I don't get a kickback for advertising that particular book. Okay, Dominica 1 in Quadragesime, or Dominica Prima in Quadragesime, the temptation, tentat Christum daemon, so Christ is tempted by the devil, or the devil tempts Christ. Okay. The interesting thing about the pictures, they're quite complex. I don't know if I'll be going through them all in detail. There's the rabbits here too, in the shade, and this deer with the antlers. Okay, so and there's the hedgehog. I did look up the hedgehog. Hedgehog in medieval art, it can be a warning against the wiles of the devil. So, and you can see this fox. I reckon it's a fox in the background. See the bushy tail? Yeah. So this guy, he just looks like a regular man. But this is the devil. See, there's Jesus, there's the other guy. And if you look at the thing, yeah, that's the devil. And he's got a little letter at his foot, F, and it says Princeps Daemonum, so the prince of the devils, adoritur Jesum prima tentatione. Si Fílius Dei est dic. Yeah, so it's si Fílius Dei, if you be the Son of Man, as is if that you be. Filius Dei is the Son of Man. Si is if. So yeah, this is the Prince of the Devils, but they've drawn him as just a normal guy. But is a very short walking stick, if it is a walking stick. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, these images are really interesting. But because there's 3 of them, I'm not sure if I go through all of them. Also, it talks about this mountain where Jesus is shown all the world, is listed as Mount Nebo. Id est in montem Nebo. So I had to look this up. And Mount Nebo is in the Holy Land, and it's the place where Moses came out of the 40 days in the desert. Okay, I'm just putting things together here now. So Mount Nebo, 40 days in the desert. Moses is coming out of those 40 days, and he gets to see the promised land, but he's told he can't enter into it because of the rock of contradiction. Old story. So it might be where Moses is buried. But yeah, so that's where Mount Nebo comes into it. But if you actually look up tours of the Holy Land, where they've got places for practically everything that happens in the Bible, they don't count Mount Nebo as the site for the temptation. There's another mountain which is closer to Jerusalem, it's just called the Mount of Temptation, or Mount Quaranta, basically. Quarantania. There it is, Quarantania. So whichever mountain it is, it's interesting. And you can see the symbolism about Mount Nebo coming out of the 40 days in the desert. So, shall we just dive straight in? Oh, yeah, you can see the devils in the background and the angels watching too. Wonder. So there's a stork and a goat. And the reason why I thought the rabbits and the deer here, they're in the shade sort of off to one side, and this deer has antlers. And in the last one, so after the temptation, when everything's all peaceful and happy again, the deer's antlers have been cut off. And the hedgehog's still there. And there's a lion as well, or lioness with her cub. And the rabbits are right up near Jesus' feet, which is so cute. So that you can see, sorry, a spoiler alert, this is what happens at the end. Jesus is fine, and the angels are coming to give him food. Actually, in the thing it says, ministrant et feruntur, mons nevo quo feruntur cibi. Oh, solemni pompa ferunt prandium Christo angeli per era. So solemni pompa sounds like with solemn pomp. So it's made it, they didn't just hand him a packet of sandwiches, there's some sort of ceremony behind it, which makes sense because Jesus is God. And so let's get into, there's the Gospel in English and the Gospel in Latin is up here. Yes, I sort of spread it out when I was pasting the images in this time. So, see how we go. In illo témpore, at that time, Ductus est Jesus in desértum a Spíritu. So Ductus, Jesus was led into the desert by the Spirit. Ut tentarétur a diábolo, that he would be tempted by the devil. Et cum jejunásset quadragínta diébus. When I was making the wedding invitations for my wedding, sorry, a bit off topic, we were making wedding invitations and I wanted them to be in Latin and English as well, so people would implicitly get the idea they were coming to a Latin Mass and they would be able to see the Latin and the English side by side. So I had to translate this thing of, we're going to have food after the wedding. And they use this word jejunio being to do with fasting, and that's where we get the word breakfast. Well, we don't get it from jejunio, but we talk about breakfast being breaking your fast. So we're going to break our fast after the wedding, and jejunio was the word that they used. Anyway, back to this. So this is the fasting quadragínta. Quadragínta is 40, so you have vigínta is 20, trigínta is 30, and quadragínta is 40. So for 40 days and 40 nights, nóctibus, póstea, after, esúriit. Esúriit is he was hungry. I love that bit in the Bible. So postea esúriit. We also see esúrientes in the Magnificat of Our Lady. Esúrientes, I'm not going to get it now. Anyway, he fills the hungry with good things, and esúrientes is the hungry. Okay, et accédens, tentator, dixit ei, and the devil coming to him, or the tempter coming to him, said, see, if Fílius Dei es, if you be the Son of God, dic, so say, ut lápides isti panes fiant. Says, dic ut lápides isti panes fiant. Panes is bread, lápides is stones. So he's saying that these stones be made bread. Qui respóndens dixit, Scriptum est. So qui respóndens, who said in response, Scriptum est, it is written, non in solo pane vivit homo, non in solo pane vivit homo. So man does not live, vivit, by bread alone, solo pane, said, but in omni verbo, but in every word, quod procédit de ore Dei, that proceeds from the mouth of God. Is this all famous to you too? Probably. Thank you, Anna. Tunc assumpsit eum diabolus in sanctam civitatem. So then, nunc is now, tunc is then, assumpsit eum diabolus. So the diabolus, the devil, took him up in sanctam civitatem, in the holy city, et statuit eum super pinaculum templi, and stood him upon on top of the pinnacle of the temple. Et dixit ei, and said to him, see Fílius Dei es, is the same as before, if thou be the Son of God, mitte te deorsum. Mitte te deorsum, throw yourself down. I have to change the crossword puzzle. Mitte can also be sent, or to send. So you could say, send yourself down. Scriptum est enim, now the devil's turn to say, it is written. Did I translate the mitte te? Yes, I did. Okay. Scriptum est enim, for it is said. So enim is a bit of an emphasis, and it always comes after the beginning of the sentence. Quia angelis suis mandavit de te. This is so familiar because it's out of the Psalms. which we say every night at Compline, practically every night. It's just for feast days and Sundays because I do the Roman Compline. If you do the monastic Compline, it's every night. Quia angelus suis mandavit Dei te, ut custodiant te in omnibus viis tuis. In manibus portavant te, ne forte offendus ad lapidem pedem tuum. Okay, so that's a bit off topic I'm showing off here. So, must not show off. Quia angelus, because angelus suis, his angels, mandavit Dei te. Then it's one of those reflexive things, so that they've been given custody of thee. So the angels are in charge of thee. Et in manibus tollent te, and in their hands they will bear thee up. Ne forte offendus, lest they'd be offended, lest you'd be hurt. Ne forte offendus ad lapidem, so lapide again. You've seen lapide in making pane, making the lapides into pane, and now you see lapidem ad lapidem. So pedem tuum is your foot ad lapidem, against a rock. So ne forte offendus ad lapidem pedem tuum. So you won't bash your foot against a rock. Iet illi Jesus. So Jesus again. Rossum scriptum est. Rossum is again, or returning to, scriptum est. I can do this too. Yeah, the devil can quote scripture, but Jesus does it best. So what does Jesus say scripture says? Non tentabis Dominum Deum tuum. So the ending shows who, describes who is being affected by the verb. So tentatione is temptation. So tentabis, if it was tentabit, it would say he will tempt, but the S on the end means it's you will tempt. And the non in front says not. So you will not tempt Dominum Deum tuum. The Lord, Dominum Deum tuum, your God. The Lord your God. So on to the last temptation. Iterum is again. Assumpsit eum diabolus. So he's taking up, the diabolus is taking up him, Jesus, this time in montem excelsum valde. Valde is a very exceedingly. So excelsum, very tall, and it's a montem, a mountain. So iterum assumpsit eum diabolus in montem excelsum valde. So it doesn't actually say if it's Mount Nebo or the Mount Quarantania. But anyway, it's a high mountain. Et ostendit, and showed him omnia regna mundi. So all the kingdoms, regna, it's in the Our Father, regnum tuum. So omnia regna, all the kingdoms mundi, of the world. Et gloriam eorum, and the glory of them. Et dixit ei, and said to him, Haec omnia, all these, tibi dabo, I will give to you. Dabo is I give, tibi is to you. See if, cadens, falling down, adoraveris, you will adore me. Adoraveris, you see it's got the S on the end like tentabis did. Where's tentabis? There's tentabis on the, just under my face, so I can say down there. Non tentabis Dominum tuum. So, si cadens adoraveris me. If falling down you will adore me. Tunc dicide Jesus, then said Jesus to him, Vade Satana. So, has everyone got the Benedict's medal? I've got a tiny little one on my, no, actually I don't have one. They've got a really microscopic one on this multi-medal that my mum got me. But you're not going to be able to see it there. So it's got Vade retro Satana is the classic exorcism sort of line. Vade means to go, and retro means back. And Satan is the, what's the root of Satan? The divider? If anyone pops it in the comments, I'll probably read it in a minute or two. Anyway, go Satan. Yeah, now Jesus knows who he's talking to. Well, he knew who he's talking to at the beginning, but now the Mr. Nice Guy's gone. Scriptum est enim, but still, the scripture also says, for it is written, Dominum Deum tuum adorabis, the Lord your God, Dominum Deum tuum, the Lord your God you will adore, et illi soli servies, and him alone soli, being solo, it's being alone, and him alone will you serve. And servies has an S on the end, so it's you will serve. There we go. Tunc reliquit eum diabolus. So then the devil left him. Et ecce, behold, angeli accesserunt et ministrabant ei. Angels came to him and ministered to him. There you go. So that is the gospel reading. So that is all the essential stuff. Let's see, the non-essential stuff. If you want to look at these words in time, I've got this handwriting sheet. So if you click on the handwriting sheet, it should come up with the PDF. If thou be, see as, so compact with Latin sometimes. Fílius Dei, the Son of God. Dic ut, command that. Lápides isti, these stones. So isti is these, stones is lápides. Panes fiant. So fiant is they be made, and panes is the bread. And it's actually the plural of bread, so loaves of bread. We don't usually say breads. Bread just in English is just bread. If we're talking about breads, we're talking about different types of breads, and that's more complicated, so leave it as bread. Qui respóndens, who answered, dixit, and said. It doesn't have an and in the Latin there that I can see, but that's okay. Scriptum est, it is written. So est is the it is, and scriptum is written. Non in solo pane, not in bread alone. So you see the solo is the alone bit. Vivit homo, doth man live. Sed, but in omni, in every verbo, word, quod procédit, de ore Dei, that proceedeth look pretty similar. De ore, from the mouth, Dei, of God. So that is there for you to do. And for the first time in a few weeks, I have remembered and had the time to put together a crossword puzzle. So you have this crossword puzzle which you can download and you can print and fill it in. And oops, there's the answers that you can wait until you've had a go at the crossword puzzle before you look at the answers. So I think that's it. I haven't put it in Quizlet yet. I keep saying I'm going to do stuff afterwards, but usually I just go and have breakfast afterwards or something like that. Although now it's getting time for fasting, I guess there won't be so much breakfast. That's all good. Dominican quadragésima, this is it. We've talked about the mountains, we've talked about the animals, we've talked about the Latin. Yeah. And I don't see any questions, and that thing that I said to comment on sounds like it's safe, that I can't even remember what it was, and nobody's pulling me up on it today. So thank you for joining me today. Should I do some advertising? No. Let's just leave it at that. This is Lent coming up tomorrow. Have a great Lent, and have a great Sunday. And I hope wherever you are that you have Mass available. And otherwise, you've got all these prayers. There's lots of stuff available to sanctify your Sunday. Okay, God bless. Bye.